Hey guys, Sponge here. So issue 1 of the Ultimate Graphic Novel Collection from Marvel is the Amazing Spider-Man Coming Home book. This is issues number 30 to 35 from the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, as I just read off the back of it. Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed this. You know, there's a lot of different things in it that haven't been done in some of the Spider-Man books that I'll go into further when I go about reviewing the story. Yeah, so start off at the very start of the book, if I can get it, where it has the story so far. I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically MJ finds out about Peter being Spider-Man, and a lot of stuff happens and she ends up leaving him. So Peter's going around and he's pretty pissed off at everything at the start of the book. You know, he wrecks a building and everything. And then one night when he's going around, a guy appears on the building and it's Ezekiel, and he has pretty much the same powers as Peter does, except for the web shooting obviously. But he has the same agility, he's climbing along walls and he's just as fast as him when Peter tries to keep up with him. But he gets Peter thinking about the origin of his powers and stuff like that, and he kind of, one of the big questions he asked him was, and I have it written down, so it's not, just to make sure I don't mess up saying this. So, did the radiation enable the spider to give him the powers, or was the spider trying to give him these powers before the radiation killed it? And when he questions that to Peter, he gets pretty, you know, it sticks with him for a long time, no pun intended with the stick there, it sticks with him. But, you know, it gets him thinking about, like, how did it happen? But after a while, you know, he doesn't really think about it too much, because he's still so pissed off about things about MJ leaving. But then things start to look up. He goes back to his old school and he ends up like trying to help out a guy that he sees pretty much like himself in it from a long time ago, kind of like the nerdy guy getting picked on. And yeah, some stuff happens there. He helps or he gets the nerdy kind of kid to help him out when a guy with a gun tries to attack the school. And he ends up getting a job as a science teacher there. And so yeah, and then after that he meets Ezekiel again. Yeah, so he meets Ezekiel again, and he kind of explains to him about the totems, which are powers. What was it kind of described as? It's people who get powers from a mysterious link with animals. Like Peter has like the power of like the spider, and it's a kind of like a different way of looking at it. And he starts to kind of explain how Ezekiel got the same powers as him, but it doesn't go into it any further than that. You do get to see a couple of pictures of it. And then he just explains, you know, like people are attracted to the, I think they call them true totems, that you know, they're not fakes. And he kind of explains that like a lot of guys that Peter or Spider-Man bad guys are, you know, if you had like Rhino, Scorpion, Doc Ock, they're not natural, you know, totems, unlike he says Peter is. But it's kind of like another way of looking at how he got his powers and everything. You know, it does get a bit funny, kind of going through. You have to read it a couple of times, but it's interesting. You know, it's a different take on it. You know, you can take what you want from it. But the main bad guy from this, or the only bad guy really, from the novel is a guy called Merlin. Now this guy is like, the best way to describe him is like an energy vampire. He's like thousands of years old, and he feeds on, I think he feeds on powers of guys, but for some reason, like, he has to go for Spider-Man in it. He doesn't go for anyone else. You know, if he feeds on powers, he could have just fed on a couple of lower type of guys and built his power up until he's massive. But then it kind of explains that he's attracted to like the true totems, from what Ezekiel tries to say what Peter is. But you know, well, you know, eventually Spider-Man defeats him in the end, but I'm not going to kind of explain how he defeats him exactly. But he does, instead of using his like Spider-Man powers, which he kind of does have to use in the end, he uses his brain. Like I often forget that Peter Parker is like super smart, and he uses his brain to outsmart him, to beat him in this. And yeah, and that's it then. It just, you know, the whole fight, if I show you on this, the fight is like 3 issues long. This is issues 30 to 35, and from like issue 32, I think it is, you know, these two guys absolutely kick the crap out of each other. But Peter tries to beat the crap out of him, and Merlin just literally takes it, and he can't even scratch him. He just keeps coming and coming. And then, you know, if I can, there's a really, you know, there's Marlin. If any guys want to see him, hopefully that's in the picture. Marlin, energy vampire. But yeah, like Peter can't scratch him. You know, no matter how pissed off he gets. Like there's like a gas explosion in one part of it there, as you can see when they're fighting in a bar. They end up fighting going through a bar or something like that, and like the whole building explodes, and Marlin just walks out from it. But well, it was a really awesome kind of 2-page fight part. You know, I can't find it. But yeah. So then, like, he does defeat him, and then at the very end of it, like, this is an old issue. I don't know how far back this was first published, but the kind of main thing at the end of it, which is not kind of new news now, I don't think. Let me get this page. This is how Aunt May finds out that Peter is Spider-Man. So, and I think down the line of the graphic novels, there is the continuation from this, so that'd be pretty interesting to read it. Like, I have a lot of these, I haven't read all of them, but yeah. So the big shocker at the very end, at the time when it was released, was when Aunt May discovered it. So yeah, it's a really good story. I enjoyed it. You know, there's different takes on it from Ezekiel with, you know, how he tries to explain about the totems. You know, it's okay. I wouldn't be mad on it, but it's something different, and I kind of like it that way. The artwork is brilliant. It's really good. You know, the colours in it, there's really nice dark blues. And the Spider-Man suit, the red goes pretty nice with it as well, you know. There's a lot of line work in it that you can see. And was a story by J. Michael Straczynski and John Romita Jr. So there's the names down there in the very bottom. Sorry if I like butchered that first name, but I'm not going to try and attempt to properly. I'll just make it even worse. So at the very end of these graphic novel books, you do get to see some little extras. I'll just move this down just to make sure that I can see that it's on camera. You know, there's a pretty decent 2-page part about the origins of Spider-Man, which is it's a nice little extra. And then it goes on to explain a little bit about the writer and the artist. So I think it's always interesting to read up about these if these guys want to know more about them. And then after that, it's just kind of artist gallery, and you know, just there's some of, like I explained about the totems. Then you have these guys, you know, like Spider-Man's bad guys. I'm make sure I try and get these all in picture. You know, how his bad guys are all kind of like animal themed. Move that back up. And oh yeah, there's further reading at the back. Volume 22. I'm pretty sure one of these Amazing Spider-Man. I think one of these was the continuation on from this story. No, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass about this, but I don't know. But you know, for the first part of the Ultimate Graphic Novel Collection, it's pretty strong. You know, Spider-Man, get the big name out there. You know, what more can you say about that? Put your most famous guy out first, get the people in. So yeah, good read. Recommend Coming Home. It's a nice little story to it. Marlin's pretty cool. The fight between them is brilliant, going across all the issues. They pretty much hammer each other. Or Spider-Man tries to hammer him and he gets beat up pretty bad himself. So yeah, and I'm not going to spoil what happens to Ezekiel either. Not that anything happens to him, but it does. I just spoiled it there. But anyway, this is my first video reviewing it. I hope you guys liked it. Please leave a comment below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought of this. And hit the like button. You know, it's really important and it's greatly appreciated if you hit the like button and leave a comment and let me know. And subscribe if you haven't. Hit the button wherever's there or down below, wherever. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. I think I'll just put this up. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to ever get feedback or if anyone's ever even going to see this part at the very end. I think I'll just pick like a few books that are my favourites, and then I just might pick a few random ones out from that. So my name is Sponge. Massive thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next book review. Thanks for watching.